Welcome to Skyton Academy, where we believe in holistic growth. Our health and wellness pillar is your gateway to a balanced life. Dive into our foundational course, Health, Wellness, and Mindset. Stay tuned for upcoming offerings, the power of plant medicine masterclass, the importance of blood work, Diet 101 with private blood work testing, and much more. Enroll today for just $50 a month and embark on your journey to well-being with Skyton Academy. What's going on, ladies and gents? We back at it, Skyton Academy, for another episode of .Connect Wednesdays. This is episode 54. All right, so we got a couple things that we're going to cover today. I'm going to be rocking out solo. Steve's handling some other things for the Academy. We're building out some things for you guys that are brilliant. You guys are going to love and enjoy. So without further ado, let's just dive right in. So first things first, on the last call, the last .Connect that we just put out, we gave you guys a play, right? And it was basically just a reminder of something we previously gave. The call was Jasmine. If you did not watch .Connect episode 53, go back and watch it. It's really important. There was gems in there that we dropped purposely for you guys. But I want to give you guys a little bit of backstory, right? Because people are still asleep on the spot calls. We still have people who are in the Academy, but they have not subscribed and signed up for the $50 a month to be able to partake in all the array of goodness that we have over there, right? So this is one of those situations where if you had your ears open, you did the research and you executed, you were handsomely rewarded almost in real time. All right, so I'm gonna read you guys something, and this is verbatim. So before we had Skyton Academy, we were utilizing Discord as our home. This is where we would put out our spot calls. We had our 1% section, we had our VIP section, etc. Right? Inside the VIP, we were giving out spot calls. So for the spot calls, this is important, right? This is something for everybody to be able to be around information as it free flows. You guys already have the particulars. You know how to research projects. You know how to see if something is valuable, and you go from there, right? So let me just read this, right? So this is on record. So .Connect Wednesdays 38, episode 38. This was on December 6, 2023. I gave you guys Jasmine and told you not to sleep and to execute. The price was around 0.005831. Now, this message that I put out was on February 21st of this year. It said, today, the price is up. It had dropped to 0.01404. That was 183% since that call, right? So if you had just got in the play and you were there for 2 months, you was already up 183% on that call, right? This is on camera. You guys probably can't really see that, but this is your proof right here that I'm reading it off something, right? We dropped this for you guys. Then we moved away from Discord and we brought everybody into Skyton Academy. You guys enrolled into the Academy for $50 a month, right? And we continuously dropped plays and gave you guys spots ever since then. So Jasmine wasn't the only call that did this, right? Casino Coin was another one that went up. Shout out to Rocket. He just brought that to my attention as well. So CSC is the ticker for that. You guys were given that play. Today is June 5th. Can anybody in the chat right now tell me how much Jasmine is right now? Keep in mind that message I just read to you guys was February 21st, 2024. Somebody inside the chat, I want you guys to give me the price of Jasmine right now. All right, so everybody is responding 0.03852, right? So we're almost at 4 cents. Yesterday or day before yesterday, we passed 4 cents. So since February, guys, 4x'd. So even if you didn't get in when we originally called it in February, and you got, in December, and you got in February, you 4 extra bread. And y'all still sleeping on the spot calls? Y'all don't see the significance of the gems that we put in there when we do the research and we laying this stuff out for you guys? It doesn't take a whole lot of money to put behind these projects. All it takes is for you to do a couple minutes of research. Once you do the research, you know how to buy it. You know how to figure out what exchange has it. All of our students, because this is something we teach you guys, so you all know this. And boom, you just hold them and you wait and you watch the price do what it do. The reason I'm even highlighting this today, and I felt like this was important, one is because I want people to see the significance of cryptocurrency. When you have information that free flows to you from two brilliant minds, myself and Steve, you guys got to execute. And I'm not preaching to the people who are already doing this, right? This is for everybody who's going to watch this playback and they're going to say, damn, you know what? I should have invested. I should have executed. I should have moved when I got that information. This is going to continuously happen until you do a few things. But the biggest takeaway about all of this is going to be your mindset. Your mindset has to be fixated and focused on when information flows to you, you have to act. And I'm not telling you guys to be super reactive to every single thing that comes out, right? You have to do this within reason. But you definitely have to get information, and as it flows to you, figure out the level of importance of the things that you guys are investing your time and your energy into the opportunities that get missed because you're focusing on the wrong things. I saw a post today and it was from a good friend of the academies, right? Crypto Cliff posted, he made a quick, I think it was like 2,200, 2,100, right? Off trading, right? He gets up every morning, he follows his regiment, he executes on his calls, boom, he makes his money. When people are watching sports events and reality TV shows and stuff like that, he's trading. Steve, the same thing. He's not sitting around giving you guys the futures calls for no reason. Every time he gives you guys plays, sometimes he's so busy doing something else for the academy or building another vertical on the real estate side that he may not even get in on the plays, but what he's doing is he's putting the food on the table for you. All you have to do is make your plate. This is the power of Skyton Academy. I truly need you guys to understand. I'm not tooting my horn. I'm not tooting Steve's horn. I'm just telling you guys, you're missing out on countless opportunities because you're not focused. You're not paying attention to what's going on in front of you, right? So to piggyback off that, outside of us giving you guys spot calls, futures calls, right? You guys are getting constant updates inside the academy, right? I'm making sure everybody that's in our 1%, if you're not in the 1%, this is definitely around the time that you definitely need to be in there, right? The link is still there. It's inside the academy. To anybody who's interested, let me know. I definitely got you. But just that example alone from Jasmine, just Jasmine, people have invested, they have doubled, tripled, quadrupled, 6x'd their money from their original investment, from the original call. This is the power of information. It will pass by you if you're not looking for it, if you're not immersed in finding data, right? You gotta silence the nonsense because it's getting super real out here. All right. So now we're gonna get into the real fun part. The academy is only $50 a month. You guys are getting far, far, far more value than a measly $50. You spend that at the fast food drive-through. You spend that 2-3 days going to Starbucks on your coffee runs, right? That's less than a full tank of gas. And we're giving you information that can change your life and your family's trajectory, right? Do with that information what you will. All right. But shout out to everybody who executed. I'm super proud of you guys. I see it. I know what you guys are doing. I see it out there. So salute to all y'all. Appreciate y'all who are tapped into spot calls and all that good stuff. We got more coming. And alt season is on the way. We told you guys if you watch that Bitcoin halving masterclass that we had for you guys, if you properly positioned yourself, you looked out for emerging projects, things that have real world use case that solve real world problems, and you started to position yourselves, you will soon be handsomely rewarded because typically and historically over the past halving cycles, and this is 3 times this is happening. This is now going to be the 4th time that this occurs. Mark my words. You can timestamp this. About 6 months to about a year after the Bitcoin halving, this is when we start to have altcoin season. You guys are already seeing the table being set right now in your faces. We just had the ETF, Ethereum ETF approval, right? Blackrock, who is the behemoth, right? They just kind of bulldozed that whole Bitcoin ETF situation. They're the largest holder. Now you're seeing them spearhead the Ethereum ETF. And with Ethereum, you guys already know that that platform itself, that ecosystem, has the majority of cryptocurrency projects under it, right? I'm not telling you to invest in every single project. It's damn near impossible. But what I am telling you guys is that the ETF is going to put even more eyes on this industry, on this market. Cryptocurrency is vital. It's really, really important, guys. And every single time that they highlight this, you're starting to see more and more. You're starting to see crypto, blockchain, distributed ledger technology. You're starting to see these things on mainstream media even more. Fox News, whatever, all your financial outlets, you're starting to see it even more. The reason being is because now you have institutional investors and you have venture capitalists on the sidelines with tons of capital. These guys are pouring their money into this space. They don't know what they're doing. They don't have educational backing with them, but what they do have is exposure, and that's all they care about. So Skyton Academy is properly positioned for now and for the future because people are going to want to know, one, how do I invest? How do I protect my investments? How do I navigate this space? They're going to want to be around people who are actually implementing the technology, which is what we're doing with the real estate side. You guys are going to start seeing that. We're going to start tokenizing things. So it's a lot of moving pieces to this, but the average person does not have an educational backing in crypto. They're only here for one reason, and that's to make money. So as the news comes and goes, you guys are going to get FUD. So don't get tricked out your spot. Fear, uncertainty, doubt. For those who don't know, you're going to see conflicting information that gets pushed around on social media outlets from different people who've never been in the space. They've never invested before, but because when the bull run starts, everyone is going to start putting crypto in their bios, crypto educator, crypto investor, crypto teacher, blah, blah, blah. You guys are going to be faced with a decision to make. Who are you going to trust? Who are you going to be able to stand beside and say, I can champion these guys. These guys are official. They've been at it. They got time and market. If it ain't Skyton Academy, I really don't know who else you guys are going to stand beside. And yes, there are other people in the space who get busy and do what they do, but nobody does what me and Steve do. We're unmatched. And that I can stand on. Guys, your boy Trump, I'm a switch gears, right? Your boy Trump, he was just found guilty of these charges, right? And I'm not getting into the particulars. I'm not getting into politics and all this stuff. I want to share something with you guys because we called this out on the last .connect, but I want to show you guys again the power of information. All right, can you guys see my screen right now? Michelle, give me a thumbs up if you can see this. All right, cool. So what you guys are looking at, this is the link that Steve gave you guys on last .connect 53. He told you guys that Donald Trump was accepting cryptocurrency. I don't know if we highlighted in real time the types of assets that he did have available, but now I want to put this on Front Street so you guys can see this, right? Crypto is not just something that you do to play around, right? This has become a tool that is being used at the most pivotal time in history, right? By presidential candidates, and they're telling you we are willing to accept cryptocurrency to fund whatever we're trying to do, right? The average way of just simply investing is pointless now because the dollar is dwindling. The value of the dollar is going to shit. Excuse my French, guys. And you are looking at prime example in real time. This is part of your history right here. I want you guys to sit in this and understand this. He's accepting Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, USDC, XRP, front and center. Hello, Dogecoin, Shiba, right? This is genius. You want to know why? Because not only is this pivotal, just cryptocurrency, this is the emerging market. This is it. You guys are sitting in this waist deep. But the brilliant part about this, one, is his accepted coins, the actual cryptocurrencies that he's willing to accept. People would look at it like Doge, Shiba Inu, like that's pointless. Why would you want that? But think about it. Those two are meme coins. Meme coins are like lotteries. The population itself is who wraps their mind around these type of coins because they're chasing the fast buck. But now he's found an even another way to add utility to something that is community based. So he's out here looking for votes and he's looking for support to be able to champion his candidacy, right? Until he's reelected or whatever the case may be, right? But this right here is brilliant. All of these coins here, these are big hitters. These are heavy hitters right here, especially XRP. I personally would never in a million years give this man or anybody my XRP because I know what I hold. I know the value of it. But I do want you guys to understand that he was behind Executive Order 13772, which was about the reshaping of digital assets for the future economy. This bill was, I think, 2000, maybe 16, 17, when he did that executive order. Now, when Biden came in office, he tried to undo almost all the executive orders that Trump put in place. But this was the beginning stages of how powerful crypto was going to be for the future economy. And he's literally using it now, present day 2024. So that just goes to show you guys how important, one, knowing the information and being around the information is, but two, actually seeing it in use in real life situations. The application is going to be key. The application is what's going to add to more people coming into the space of cryptocurrency, which means, hello, anybody who was already invested before the masses, hello, you guys are going to be super rewarded. You guys are going to be getting wealthy off of the other people who come in super late. And you know what that benefit was? You got it early because you had the information. This I cannot stress enough, guys. The information is so important. The time right now is the most important. We just had what's called MiCA regulations, MICA, right? We talked about that a little bit on the last .connect. If you guys don't know what that is, I strongly urge each and every one of you guys to look it up. MICA regulations. MiCA regulations is what is going to determine the legitimacy of cryptocurrencies, stable coins, the transparency behind stable coins, all coming out of the European Union, the Euro space, right? And if you know anything like I know, the Americas are on the backs of Europe. So anytime something happens in Europe, it trickles down to the United States, or it trickles over to the United States. Rocket, I got you. That's the link, guys, to the donation if you guys wanted to just explore it yourself, read more about it. But here's another thing that I didn't mention, right? I don't want to overtalk this, guys. This is super important. Look at this article. This article says that Trump announced nearly $53 million was raised utilizing his donations. You know where most of that came from? Cryptocurrency. You know why it came from cryptocurrency? Because he's now on the front steps championing that everyone use cryptocurrency, right? The dollar is dying. They know people are already pivoting away from the dollar, so they're going to buy things like gold and other commodities. I'm not going to get into the fact that we already gave you guys a resource where you guys are going to be able to get gold, silver, and other commodities at cost. You definitely got to be a student inside the academy, but we got the link coming for you guys. We should have it, I think, either this week, or if not this week, next week for sure. But we've already gave you guys the masterclass for that. That is the reason you guys need to stick with cryptocurrency. You need to stick with Skyton Academy, because we are putting this stuff in front of your faces and nobody else is doing this. I'm out here on social media on purpose, scrolling, allocating my time that I cannot get back, and I'm seeking out other people. Steve put the battery in my back and said, listen, it's super important that, one, we protect our students, but we have to look for other people who are brilliant in their own ways, right? In their own lane, and they can add value to our students. Look for them. I'm actively seeking, and I'm telling you guys, it's not there. A lot of these people are in these dying markets and dying industries that are all going to be substantially impacted by artificial intelligence, blockchain technology, and cryptocurrency. So it all keeps coming back to me and Steve. It keeps coming back here to Skyton Academy. So if you guys know some people out there who you guys want to see on the platform, make sure you bring it to our attention. You know what I mean? Send us an ad or send us their page to our social medias or something like that. Let us check them out. Let us vet them. Because if you can find value in them, I'm pretty sure we may be able to kind of, nitpick it and do the same. But we want to be able to keep bringing this type of energy and this type of value to our people, right? Because this is important. But this right here in your face, you guys are seeing in action the power of crypto. Not to mention, crypto has funded wars, right? It's circumvented when they stopped the truckers from being able to kind of help the war situation. They wanted to donate. You remember people were using cryptocurrency to help the farmers when they cut the farmers off. Like, guys, this is pivotal. This is part of you all's legacy. So because we do this Connect Wednesdays thing, don't think this is just 1 hour of your life or your time that you're allocating, and that's just it. This stuff is important because it's so much bigger than you just sitting here in the screen, giving up your time. We're greatly appreciative for it. But understand, this thing is huge and this is global, and we're just at the beginning. We're still under about 5 to 7% of the global population being invested in cryptocurrency. And you guys are here. You know how to find stuff. You know how to invest in stuff. You guys are finding super gems. You have the 1%. We got it all for you. It's all right here. So don't be the dad, don't be the mom, don't be the grandma, grandpa, or the uncle or aunt who has your niece and nephew when they get, a little older, and they're able to have conversations like, hey, what were you doing during the greatest wealth transfer of the world? You know what I mean? Don't be that guy or that lady who was sitting back like, I didn't do nothing with it. I wasn't paying attention. I was watching Love and Hip Hop. I was watching, Sexy Red music videos. I was, allocating my time, picking my ears, picking my nose. Like, come on, guys. This is important. And the reason I'm so adamant about this is because I want you guys to be able to tell a friend to come into the academy. Because now that we've got the affiliate, you guys are going to be able to outsource to your friends and family, and you're going to be able to tell them that this is the place to be, surrounded by real individuals, real people who are giving real vital information that's pivotal for everybody's growth. This is for everybody. This is important. All right. Um, Here's something else that is extremely important that I wanted to bring to you guys' attention. So on the last call, I told you guys I had to stand corrected because I personally said to myself, I was wrong thinking that just because XRP itself was not deemed a security, that they wouldn't package it or bundle it as an ETF, right? So I told you guys about this particular article, and it says Standard Charter, which is a behemoth you guys need to look up. It says in 2025, the XRP ETF is on the way, right? Possibly. And when I told you guys I was too close to the info, I had to back up for a second. I backed up. And what I started to notice was there are a bunch of cryptocurrencies that are going to get bundled up and packaged together, and they're going to be launched in the form of ETFs, and it's going to bring a lot more institutional money into the space because all it's doing is bringing exposure. People don't care about the educational aspect, right? They don't care, right? I'm not going to say all people, but these guys who are only chasing the dollar, they don't care about learning the intricacies, right? The details, the things that truly matter. They're only chasing money, right? But with that, they're allowing these big players to be able to invest for them and give them exposure to the things that we know about, we are investing in and knowledgeable about, right? So again, that's another benefit for us. But the important part about this is when Standard Charter said this, I said, okay, 2025 is right around the corner. We're already in June. I think the last dot connect was May. It was the end of May. You know, it was a couple days before June 1st. Now, today is June 5th, and I can see it clear as day. We are literally 6 months away from a possible ETF. I see Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple. He's back on tour again, and he just had an interview a couple days ago. And on the interview, he literally came out and said, okay, this is happening. There's some things that I cannot discuss or I'm not willing to discuss. But BlackRock has publicly came out and stated that there are going to be more ETFs on the way. Now, here's the gem. Here's where the dot connecting comes into play. So this is multifaceted, guys. This is like mind-blowing to me. The news just came out today, guys, that BlackRock, Citadel-backed securities, is now going to open a stock exchange in Texas that is going to rival the New York Stock Exchange. And what is something that I've been telling you guys over and over and over is one word that starts with a T: tokenization. And what did BlackRock do? They started tokenizing securities already. So you're talking about stocks and bonds and T-bills, and all this stuff is going to be done on a platform. That platform that they already began using, sad to say, is on the Ethereum blockchain. But how in the hell is Ethereum going to be able to withstand this type of movement, this type of volume, these type of transactions when they can't even handle the transaction volume right now without all of their transactions failing? Ethereum is not going to be the one. Now, the reason I had to highlight that for you guys is because BlackRock is not just working with Ethereum on that platform. And I'm going to give you guys a spot. Everybody who's on this call, I'm going to give you guys a spot. at the end of the call. I got y'all. All right. So this news right here is huge because if you think about it, I told you guys the New York Stock Exchange was just going to be like another Coinbase. When you think about it, all they're doing is having stocks available for you to purchase, buy and sell. It's a market. But when things get tokenized, there has to be something that's country agnostic and blockchain compatible with every other blockchain that's going to allow you to move these transactions at the speed of light, quickly, cheap, efficiently, without failure. And there's only one that comes to mind, and that's going to be XRP when it talks about tokenization. Guys, interoperability is going to be the key word outside of tokenizations. Larry Fink said tokenizations is going to be the next big thing. He told you guys. He literally laid it out. So when you know this information, now you have to act on it. You have to be able to move. You have to be able to take the data and correlate it. What does this project do? How is this project going to make something that already exists better? How are they going to take this innovation, right? This technology and put it into this old product to make something even better? And they're laying it out for you. So at this point, you truly don't even need to be a person that's consistently dot connecting. You just have to really be paying attention. As long as you're paying attention, you win the game. You're winning because they're telling you. They're creating Blackrock. They're creating their own basic stock exchange that is going to rival the New York Stock Exchange. This is American based, and Blackrock is the behemoth. We're talking 10 trillion in assets under management, and that's going to grow substantially. You see what they came in and did with these ETFs for Bitcoin. Now they just released the S1 approval document for the Ethereum ETF. They just sent it in, right? They just submitted their S1. The S1, after you receive, I guess, the ability to have an ETF, you have to submit what's called the S1. The S1 has to get the final approval. And once the S1 is done, that's the final step. So the news that we were going to have ETFs coming and going, that was great. That was awesome, right? But now the fact that they actually submitted their S1, once that gets approved, we out of here. So that's the second player. But again, they're not just going to stick with 2 ETFs. These players are too large, and this is only one of many. BlackRock is just a big dog, but imagine the other players that come along with this. You've seen all the players that rushed in to do the ETFs. And because BlackRock has so much power and influence, you see they're actually working with cryptocurrencies already. And they're cryptocurrencies that we've given you guys. They have real world use case. They're solving problems, and they're going to be the reason you guys are handsomely rewarded. You are going to see a lot of profits if you're properly invested and positioned into those projects, because they're literally doing the work for you. All you have to do is damn near begin to start investing as you see the information come across, and literally sitting. It's almost like you can use crypto as a piggy bank. I seen something that was super interesting today. Super interesting. There was a guy, he's not really into crypto like that. He's just really big into Bitcoin. And I'll say his name is Chris, right? He does stocks. He has a big stock platform. I think his name's Chris Johnson, if I'm not mistaken. So he's basically talking to the people saying, this is what he's doing. He was investing, not really investing, right? He's putting his money into Bitcoin, treating it as a piggy bank, like a savings. What's happening to money right now? Money is with these interest rates getting higher, right? Well, we've got inflation going crazy. It's like an ice cube in the sun. It's like an ice cube in the sun. right? It melts. It's withering away, right? So again, guys, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. We're not financial advisors. This is for informational purposes only, right? But I need you guys to understand the premise, the thought process. Everything that I've given you guys on this call right now, this is common sense, right? This is common sense stuff. And I think, you know what? I think Steve is actually on the call. Let me find him and bring him up. Hold on. But what I want you guys to understand is that analogy of the damn ice cube in the sun, it was so powerful and it's so simple. There goes Steve. There go my guy. All right, Steve, I got you pinned. So it was so pivotal because I'm looking at the idea behind this, right? And what he said was basically he's putting his money into Bitcoin as like a piggy bank. It's the new form of a digital piggy bank. Whenever you need to access it, you can, because you have the skill set to be able to move it, to buy, sell, right? You can do all that. You have full autonomy. We taught you guys how to safely protect it and put it somewhere so it's not on an exchange, but you know how to move it and access it. But he was basically saying he put $250,000 here into this project in a Bitcoin. It exploded, right? Over time, he put another 100,000 in. He put another 1,000 in, 500 in, and he had a challenge for everybody to just purchase one Bitcoin. Bitcoin is now at 70K, right? If you can consistently make deposits, you're fully immersed in the information. Every time you get extra money, instead of you saving it in a savings account that's not giving you any money back in your pocket, right? And it's not giving you these type of returns, not even remotely close. That in itself, that idea was pure brilliance, because it lets you know, even if you guys were investing in whatever it was that was your favorite project, and your premise was to just continuously take $100 or $200 out of your check, put it there, and just leave it. That's your savings account. Same way you would have it in your bank account. You could easily watch it grow. And as you watched it grow, you then can take a a couple dollars away from it, secure your initial investment, and then keep, as it dips down, you buy some more. And you're just watching this thing grow over time. And it's so simple, because I just literally watched my neighbor. I was outside catching some sun. My neighbor says, "Hey, how you doing?" So I'm good. So I got live call tonight. He's like, "Oh, okay, all right, cool." It's like, "Yeah, I'm about to hit the gas station. I'm about to go get some lottery tickets." And then you know what he asked me right after that? He said, "Hey, how's Dogecoin doing?" I can't make this up. I can't make this up. So people are willing to invest in Lotto, put their investments in Lotto, hoping to get something back when typically you get nothing back. But in cryptocurrency, you are able to watch coins go up and down, fluctuate because of supply and demand, because of value, because of use case, because of community, right? All of these things are happening, and people are still sitting on the sidelines. Man, listen.
Yo, listen, let's focus on the people that are doing, because they're not doing, we could be here all day on that one. So here we go. MasterCard this week. Does everybody know what happened?
Tell them.
Let me share screen. You got share screen on? And this will be quick. All right. We good? See the screen?
Yep.
This is directly from MasterCard. All right, it's on the site. I'm gonna drop the link afterwards. Let's just play it. So this is called MasterCard Crypto Credentials. So if you guys know, if you've used your credit card Visa before, they have these security parameters on the Visa cards, depending on where you're making purchases, and you have to put in a code that's associated with your phone, right? And this is another layer of security on, to validate transactions. So now MasterCard, they've been in the crypto game, but now press releases are being released directly through them. And mind you guys, when you look at a lot of these articles, they're from Cointelegraph and this and that. And sometimes they're not really validated directly from the entities that they're speaking of. But this right here is directly from MasterCard. All right. All right. Does anybody understand the magnitude of this? So if you've ever sent crypto before, you know, the wallet address that we use is a combination of characters, numbers, and letters, right? And it's super long. Okay. What MasterCard is doing now is they're creating an alias for your purchases. Okay. So once you're verified, it's going to go through your MasterCard. So the reason why this is big, this is going to help people on ramp in a way that they're accustomed to. So all you have to do is make a purchase, and it's not in the US yet. It's overseas. So all you have to do is use your MasterCard and register it. And then all your wallet addresses are going to be linked to one alias. You following? By 2025 in Japan, every iPhone that is made and sold in Japan is also going to have the same piece of technology in it. Every single iPhone. Mark my words, Japan is going to be at the forefront of mass adoption. That's going to be the first country to get everybody on board to start to operate on a blockchain by 2025. Guarantee it. And the entire ecosystem is going to be powered by Jasmine. Okay. Jasmine is a Internet of Thing product, and it does all things. Understand, it is a Japanese product that has been in their ecosystem for a while now. That's why they call it the Japanese Bitcoin. But I would say they should change the name because it's far greater than what Bitcoin can do, right? Bitcoin cannot run you can't run an ecosystem on Bitcoin. Venezuela, check it out, right? It's too volatile. It's for store value, and that's it. It's like gold, only you can't wear it. So, MasterCard just dropped this. Now, what you guys have to understand, I'll drop the link in here. Here's the biggest part about this this press release that just came out the other day. They are now connecting the Latin America and the Euro corridors through this alias, meaning now you can send money through users in Argentina, Brazil, Chile, France, Guatemala, Mexico, Panama, Paraguay, Peru. You get where I'm going with this. Spain, Switzerland, Uruguay will be able to send cross-border payments and domestic transfers across multiple currencies and blockchains. This is what's currently happening right now. Okay. So it is live, and it's a label. They're using Bit2Me, Larium, and Mercado Bitcoin Exchange. So again, this is not in the US yet, guys. So when you get this article, I want you guys to research those blockchains. I mean, those exchanges. Check out the liquidity that's flowing through those exchanges. Make a mental note of it. Go back to it every 3-4 months and start to see what the liquidity is. All right. This is important because, like I said, if you tell somebody go set up a wallet and do all this and then give me your receiving address and yada, 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 people are lost in that transaction, right? And I told you this from before. The identifier is probably going to be unique to our cell phones because this is what this technology is here. So once you have a cell phone number, that's going to be your wallet address for everything that works across the blockchains. Now, you can still transact in directly through exchanges, but this is an easier, more secure way to actually facilitate a transaction, especially for the people that Champ was talking about at the first part of the call. I don't really care about those people. I'm gonna be honest with you, right? They've taken up so much space in this academy. it's 90 something percent of them, right?
Yeah.
So we're in a smaller class, so we can't drag those people along. They're not going to come just yet. But by 2030, they'll be forced to come like everything else, right? Because can anybody tell me the date that you started using a debit card and you went away from cash? No one knows, right? There was no hard date. It was just one of those things. So you're still going to be able to transact in cash. You'll still be able to transact in plastic, right? Digital cards. But then the third layer would be people that starts to transact in the digital world. The only difference is we're going to be peer-to-peer moving money fast. But for people who don't have money, they're not moving money, right? They're not sending or receiving. So they're out of the equation. The real money's already in the game. That's the liquidity that's going to make these projects make those astronomical jumps. It's not going to be the retail investors, right? It is institutional adoption first, like Champ always says. Government, government is big corporations at the end of the day. They built the technology, they've been using it. They're the ones that benefit from all emerging tech. Every country in the world benefits from emerging tech first. So this little AI stuff that we do, videos chopping up our stuff, that's low level things. AI has been around for going on 12 years now. Right? We've been talking into phones. We've been operating and speaking to computer generated messages and voice prompts and press this and press. That's all AI. They just finally put a name to it. Right. And it's becoming like a thing now. But it's way deeper than any product that we're currently using right now. Okay. It goes way deeper. That's why I gave you guys the 7 free courses so you can start to expand your knowledge into what this really means. What can you do with it? So I watched an interview the other day with a gentleman he was just talking AI, but he was talking about in the healthcare and educational sector. He says in the not too distant future, everybody in the world should have a personal AI physician, right? We're not undermining the system that's here now, but I'm telling you that these doctors are reading through computer screens and they're telling you based on a recommendation given to them that you need a colonoscopy because you're 45, right? You need this shot because anytime you come of age, there's something that they're trying to give you, right? So you don't need a real doctor to really tell you that. So when you think about the personal AI, it will be personal to you and your health records, right? So the more the data that we feed them, our health records, they'll have that and they'll be able to organize the data for us. So when we say, hey, you know what, I want to take this particular burdock root. How would that work with the medication that I'm currently using right now? Well, Steve, right now you're on X medication. This one, we don't see any. You see where I'm going with this? Same thing for the educational sector. Now, your children and even yourself, you can have an individual tutor 24/7. My daughter's struggling in math. My son's struggling in science. Whatever the case, that tutor is then going to take that data and it's going to be built to understand your child, right? Be able to read the vision, the eyes. Are they paying attention? This is what's happening in China right now. What they're doing in the schools is they're attaching brainwave devices to the children while they're in class. So they're sitting there and they're collecting data on them. Who's paying attention? How long are they paying attention for? Listen, I'm a big proponent of a lot of this technology. It will definitely change and enhance the way that we do things in this world. And then you got the people who are just going to use it as a shortcut. But again, I can't focus on that 90 something percent of people. Right? They're always going to come along for the ride. They're always going to be a user. They're always going to be as useful as they can in society. That's it. I've been on that side. You know what I'm saying? So it's a choice at that point.
Yeah.
Right. This is emerging. There's a small percentage of the world that even understands what's happening. Trust me, everyone's going to come on this ride at some point. Now MasterCard, that was the biggest news of the week for me. Right? Because I've been following that Jasmine project. Champ gave it to us a long time ago. I was in shit. For the time he gave it, it knocked off at least 3 zeros already. And I got in knocked off 2. So I came in a little. Now, actually, you know what? I did get in a little earlier, probably from before you, but didn't have like a sizable bag at all. Yeah. Right? Definitely didn't go as deep with the project. But when I started to look at the economy and what's happening in Japan right now, I understand how that government is positioning themselves right now so that they do not lose. There's a tsunami. They're basically in the same position that we're in right now. And Japan usually has one of the strongest economies in the world. Traditionally, these guys aren't swimming in a whole lot of debt like that. The way that we, kind of operate here in the U.S. So they're operating at a code red level right now, and they are implementing these technologies like nobody's business. So if I'm telling you to go research that Jasmine situation, we gave you all the information on how to connect the dots. Now your job is to verify it and then just stay on that track. Mm-hmm. Right? Trust me on this. Everybody in 3 years, everybody on this call and everybody that's been part of the academy that we've taught, we're all going to say one thing, and I'm going to be the same one. I wish I would have bought more. Right? I wish I would have bought more, but then I'm going to end it with, I'm grateful that I understood what was happening.
Facts.
Right? That's how it's going to play out. So that's the first piece of business. Let me give you the link. Please, guys, take this link and do what you want. Now, there's 2 bills. There's 2 bills right now I want to give you guys. And then I'm done after this. All right. So does anybody know the debt clock?
Mm-hmm.
We keep bringing this up. Okay. Has anybody looked at it lately? Champ?
Probably in the past 2 weeks. No, probably
okay. What's in the lower right-hand corner?
Gold, precious metals.
What's to the right of that?
That XRP.
I don't want y'all to focus on that though. That is probably nothing. It's probably nothing. But what I do want you to focus on is the price of the 5 and the 10-year ratio, right? Gold. So we're at 5 years, we're at 12,000, just a little over 12,000, and then the 10-year per ounce, we're at 9,000. You know why there's a discrepancy in the price? And currently, what's the retail price going for right now in gold? About 2,300 in that range?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So going on 2 years ago, we shot our first masterclass called a Plan 1. If you're in the academy, please go watch that over. We made it super easy to watch. It's about an hour. We had reshot it just to keep it clean. Go back and watch it. We gave you ways to hedge against inflation. This is where we're at right now. And the price of gold back then was like $1,600. We're up to $2,300 now. We showed you how to buy it digitally with a company that's going to hold it in a vault for you. We showed you how to buy it directly, who to buy it from, which ones to buy. These are recommendations. You have to do your own research. But again, gold was about $1,600 at the time. Now we're at $2,300. That thing is going to be well above 35, 4,000 before the year is up. They are going to run it up. So if we're at 23 and they're doing this, remember I told you this is what they're going to do. They have to take all this debt and they have to back it by gold and then raise the price of gold to then do what? Bring the price of the debt down. But here's in that little logo in the lower right-hand corner, don't worry about that. Trust me, it's Pablo. It's nothing.
Let's go.
So that link is there too, guys. Follow that debt clock. Read it. There's a lot of good data in there. All right. So the first bill I want you guys to dig into is HR 2435. Right. And this is going on last year, going into this year. Okay. This is the Gold Standard Restoration Act. All right. But before you dig into that one, I want you to go back a couple years ago, HR 9157. And this is to define the dollar as a fixed weight of gold for other purposes. So this is the first time. And granted, you're supposed to be able to go to the bank, take that promissory note. That's what cash is. It's a promissory note. And you're supposed to exchange that for real money. That's on the book. So what's real money? That means the bank is supposed to give you gold back in return. They are requiring every bank in these acts to hold gold at the bank, meaning they have to exchange it. So we're back on the gold standard. Nobody's talking about that. Champ already told you what everybody's preoccupied with. This is why they're hitting us with so much. Every time something big hits the news, I don't partake in it. What I do is I say, you know what? Something's happening. I need to figure out what's happening. And this is what's been happening, guys. These 2 bills right here have restored the gold standard. We have about 17 or 18 states that have activated gold and silver right? As legal tender, even though they've been legal tender, but now they're legal on books. And the reason why states are doing this and a lot of governors are backing this is because they're trying to find ways to make sure that their citizens don't fall prey to a lot of the problems that are happening right now. You understand? There's over 600 banks are on the brink of collapse.
I was just going to cover that.
Right? So we'll just fly over that because I need them to get into these acts right here.
Yeah.
Okay. So what they're doing is they're requiring the banks to hold the gold against the debt that they have. And that way is going to avoid blood in the streets. Okay. So I'm just telling you, you got to hold gold. I'm a big crypto guy, but I'm getting my commodities up now too. Right? Because for me, it's just store value. I will go gold for myself before I go Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I would go silver before I go Bitcoin. Silver, I would use in case the lights go out and you need to go to a store and your debit card and all that stuff's not working. You don't have cash on you. And even if you did have cash on you, why would you use cash? When you have commodities just increasing in price at this point now. So if we don't need it now, then just sit on it and wait in a tuck. But the reason I would keep silver is because it's just a smaller denomination. Like I wouldn't buy a loaf of bread with, an ounce of gold. They may not have change to give you back.
Right.
You understand? So there's two bills, guys. HR 9157, and that's what's defining the dollar as a fixed weight. Okay. So understand what they have to do is by the end of day, they have to reconcile based on the price of gold. This is what every bank has to do that's running under the Federal Reserve. Okay. So let me drop those two in there so that way you have it. I'm telling you, you have to, and this stuff is easy to pick apart because they're saying the quiet things out loud now. And it's across all boards. It's just some of the stuff garners a lot more attention because it's a lot more salacious. But, this shit right here is kind of boring for most people. So here's the first bill. And here's the second bill. Guys, just put those, I laid it out easy. Put those together. Okay. And with Champ, with the tether situation, and I'm still going to stand on it, they can't take that company out. That company, I looked at it, their books, they have too much government bonds. Too much. Trust me, they'll do a TikTok situation where BlackRock would buy Tether before they rip that. Because think about it, the effects of bringing that stable coin down, what would it do to Bitcoin? And then what would it do to everything else? They're not ready to make that, to let that be the black swan event.
We're gonna make that a dot connect. We're gonna make that its own dot connecting segment.
Yeah. Tether's not going to be the black swan event. It'll be the blackouts before anything. But to hang yourself right now, considering, and just watch the way that they're handling TikTok, you're telling a private company that they need to sell their shares. They need to sell their company. This is where America's going right now. Right? So we're back on the gold standard with those two bills. We understand that the price of gold has increased, not for us, for the government, right? We gave you the plan one that outlined everything. They did this before. They did this back in the days when they took us off the gold standard. Remember, they confiscated everybody's gold. What's the first thing they did after that when they made it illegal? They raised the price, right? They raised the price of gold. And then the government was able to get back the economy rolling again. You got to take this Jasmine coin a little bit serious, guys. That's the only thing I would ask. When you get off this call, please make it your thing. And I'm not telling you to go FOMO and buy into it. I'm telling you just to research the project and see how they're connecting dots with it. Research the Japan economy. See all the things that are happening in that economy right now. The last piece of information too is Mexico just they had their first female president ever. I ain't gonna go too deep with that, but she's Jewish. That's just dumb.
Facts.
You got to look into that one, right? So there were something like 38, and they just killed a mayor yesterday. So the day she got inaugurated, they killed another mayor. So it's been the bloodiest elections ever in history. I want to say 38 politicians died, got assassinated. This lady came, and you think Obama came out of nowhere? She came out of nowhere.
Nowhere.
Out of nowhere. So yeah, so Israel owns Mexico and America. I'm out. I can't.
Yeah, wow, I can't.
No, I can't. It's so start watch the movements of Africa with younger world leaders, right? Watch the rise of these old political cronies, the way that the United States and France and all these guys are like the global elites, and you could start to position yourself when you're thinking about leaving this country. Start to look at the political landscape in who's in power. All of Africa is going younger. They're actually not even running elections. They're overthrowing governments. Mm-hmm. And every single young leader that I'm following from Africa right now, I'm going to put together something on that and just talk about it. They have thriving economies right now. They have cut off France. They have cut off all of Europe. They're not giving raw material out anymore. These guys are opening up mining facilities. They're creating jobs, right? They're not saying they're not going to sell to Europe. They're just not giving the raw goods to Europe anymore. They're coming off that French, whatever you want to call it. France doesn't even use that paper money that they dropped in Africa. It's a done deal. Europe should be a third world country at the end of the day. And all things hold true. This shit is about to shift, and Africa's, we know it's the richest, continent in the world. Paris is dead. Paris is dead. Trust me when I tell you. That place is, everything there is a stolen artifact that they're banking on. Everything. Yep. Even Haiti just still paying reparations to this place for a war that they won. Like, you see how just crazy the whole situation is? So it's a new day, guys. There's new technology. It's crazy that you have America's not at the forefront of this. It's just baffling to me. And I get it. We just have a lot of bureaucracy and red tape, but I'm only researching and studying emerging countries who are coming off the dollar. You start to research everybody who's currently in BRICS, everybody who's coming to BRICS. It just makes sense for everyone to just be back on their own currency, right? And then you have something that's interoperable. That logo on the debt clock, it may not be nothing, but I'm just telling you that MasterCard is creating that interoperability. They're sending money within seconds. Now we have to research what they're using, right? It's still exchange-based. So that's why I'm not going to go into XRPs handling that or XLM. I'm not getting into that, right? Because it's still exchange-based at the end of the day. All they're doing is the same way that we purchase with our credit cards on the exchanges. They're doing the exact same thing, only they're validating you, and I don't have to give wallet addresses anymore. I can easily send things through cell phone. So just think about it as Zelle, basically, at the end of the day. Now, they'll probably make a point or two here on some fees. So these usual suspects, there's no way you're going to remove these guys from the ecosystem. They just have too much data, and they have everyone on this call has a Visa MasterCard logo in their wallet. Everyone. So all they're going to do is create a new basket of products, and they're here. That's it. So we got two bills reactivating the gold standard. We have a Jewish president in Mexico. We have what else we got?
Blackrock, new exchange in Texas. We got
that's dumb. That
gold standard.
I get it. Listen, that's a smart move, though.
Mm-hmm. Super.
That's a smart move, and there's going to be multiple states that'll do that. Texas will break away at some point.
Yeah, you know what's the most pivotal part about that is, so the news, right? These headlines, they all matter, right? So before you got on the call, I'm not sure how long you was on the call, but I was stressing the importance of information, right? As you have the information, you will know how to move. The fact that it's BlackRock who is creating the stock exchange to rival against the New York Stock Exchange is insane, right? It's super incredible. The reason I love it is because, keep in mind, there's other context that's missing. One, BlackRock is the behemoth. BlackRock got a partnership also with Standard Charter, Medico. Medico is owned by Ripple. Ripple has the partnership with HSBC. HSBC is going to be tokenizing gold. If you got institutions like BlackRock who are going to have platforms that are going to tokenize every damn thing, imagine what that's going to do to the debt clock. Because think about it, even though we need this gold that we're telling everybody that they need to buy, on the institutional side, on a grand scale, the United States is one of the largest holders of gold. I think they had, this was maybe like 2-3 years ago, they were at 8,033, I think, tons of gold. They were the largest holder by far. And I think Germany was one of the top 3 as well. Without all the details, right, you're going to need something to hold up these economies, period, or we're just going to crash. And you're seeing it right now, $517 billion in losses for U.S. banks, right? And the 63 of them that's on the brink. If they fold, what happens? They get acquired by larger banks. The larger banks are now implementing new products and services, right? So as they got these new products and services, you got to figure out a way to make it efficient to get it out to the people and to be able to do these transactions across borders. Has to happen. So now you have to look into tokenization. You got to look at interoperability. So all of the same things that we've been saying, it's all happening. This shit is incredible. We at the most pivotal point in the world right now. And now I'm starting to get even more excited. I'm actually starting to get happy about crypto again.
Last thing this week, the HBAR Foundation, if anybody follows that project, been telling me, they just partnered with Hyundai and Kia. All right, so they are doing CO2 emissions monitoring system on the Hedera network. So basically, end of the day, guys, they're going to look at every part, where it's made, how it's made. They'll be able to take the carbon footprint, everything from the energy it takes to make it, to ship it, to produce, all of it. And they'll have that data, and it'll be on the blockchain. And this is all moving through HBAR, Hedera network. This is a manufactured industry right here. I'm gonna tell you this right now, guys. We can cash in on it, but this is the part that I'm gonna call bullshit on. You're gonna have to pay for everything in the future, right? You want a gas stove, you have to pay for it. You want to drive a gas car, you'll have to pay for it. This carbon footprint is going to cut the ability for you to be able to fly freely around the world. By 2030, there's no more flights going to Europe. Start paying attention to what's happening right now.
Let's go.
Start paying attention to what's happening right now. So they are creating this net neutral, zero carbon emission. And now, in order to even the carbon credits that they have now, this is why you see what's happening now. Bill Gates and them, they're buying land, right? What are they doing with the land now? Everybody thinks it's farming. It's not farming. They're just putting trees back up. So remember, they cut all the trees down, and now they're back erecting trees again. Okay, this is the carbon offset. This is the new hustle. This is going to be bigger than gold. This right here is going to be bigger than gold. Maybe even as big as data, because of the controls that these laws are going to put into place. And this is the first phase of it. So if you hold in Hedera, congratulations. Congratulations.
Another gem. Man, I hope y'all listening.
This is it. And that XRP ETF, I heard you talking about it earlier, is coming out next year, 2025.
Yep. Brad just confirmed
it has nothing to do with XRP or even Ripple, right? ETFs are a bag of anything that you want it to be. You could make anything an ETF. And these carbon credits, these are going to be the biggest ETFs, guys. Trust me when I tell you this. And the only way to really truthfully and honestly track carbon credits is through the blockchain. That's the only way to do it, because right now they're on an honor system. So can you imagine how these guys are offsetting land and things like that? They're not allocating. So if I had 200-300 acres, you're not if I was to distribute this to different business owners who need to offset their carbon credits, the government right now, all you're doing is stating 1 acre to Champ, 2 acres to Jerry. You know, like that's how it is. It's just on the honor system right now.
Yeah.
So when this thing gets official and it gets on a blockchain, they'll be able to carve it out. All of it will be NFT. Carbon credits would be in the form of an NFT, where it could be passed along from one company to the next. And that's what they would then put on their taxes or whatever forms they have to fill out to show that they're offsetting their emissions. This is where we're headed, guys. And I'm telling you that there's projects right now that are allowing even smaller landowners to pool their land together in a bigger pool, right? This is like a liquidity pool. And they're selling those carbon credits as a collective. So now you can just monetize on just regular land that you have, no matter how big or how small the land is. There is a requirement for it, but when they start to pool carbon credits together, and there's crypto projects right now, we told you about these things 1.5 years ago, so I'm digging them back up again.
Yeah,
because now that sector's heating up. So with that said, Champ and I are doing portfolio management services, where we'll be working with people one-on-one to go over your portfolio, and then we'll start to lay out plans for like, all right, understanding your needs. Listen, I need something by 2025. All right, here are the sectors, because there's some things I'm just packed away for a minute, and I got some things where it's like, all right, I'm gonna chew on that now. Like the AI stuff, you can start pulling some of that stuff as you go. Yeah. But this carbon credit stuff right here, I'm telling you guys, mark my words, this is going to be the biggest emerging market in the world. All concocted off of like bullshit. But I'm in. And I'm sure, how many people hold H-bar? We'll just put a 1 in chat.
25 people on the call. Let's see what we looking like. Looking good. All ones.
So you guys are executing. You know what it is now. Now, how many people put a 2 in the chat if you knew about the Hyundai and Kia situation? All my holders. Put a 2 if you knew and a 3 if you didn't.
A lot of threes.
You see what I'm saying? This is why community is vital, right? Because everybody can go out and get information. And then listen, I'm a little too busy to grab this information sometimes. Mm-hmm. And I have insider information on that Hedera network from people who are on the institutional side of the investments. Understand? And word is with those guys is they're getting paid dividends left and right. So that company is honoring everything that they've set out to do so far. And now it's just a matter of time, guys. Just got to stay above water. Trust me when I tell you this.
This is it.
You just got to stay above water. This was a big week.
Yeah.
Last week was a huge week. I've been sitting on these for a little bit. I didn't even shoot content on this stuff yet.
Yeah.
So I dropped a screenshot in there. Who saw the screenshot earlier?
And you put it in the chat?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go.
Where is it? You saw it?
Yep.
Pull it up.
I got it. You want me to do I need to redrop it?
No, just share it.
Screen share. I see that.
So that's my average cost. 006. Total returns close to 11,000. And this was a $2,000 investment, guys, just so you know. And it's sitting on Coinbase because I'm just using that to pull profit. I don't need to be going back and forth to cold storage and all that other stuff. So I'm doing the things I'm telling y'all not to do. But
Very necessary at times, especially
Yeah, yeah.
very
Take
necessary.
what we say with a grain of salt. Do what you need to do to make things make sense for you. Yeah, again, $2,000 investment. This is only a couple months ago, and I gave you the entry points, and I told you guys we need to be looking into this. And Champ been blessing us with this stuff. But I think what happens too is, Champ, when we're giving out these spots, if not wrapped around a conversation with bills and this and this and just giving those connection points, it's one thing to read it, it's another to like hear it and make it make sense.
Right.
Right. Because as you're articulating and connecting the dots, it's a whole lot easier to hear you as opposed to you typing it.
Right.
So moving forward, guys, when we drop information to you in the discussions, we're going to start shooting under 4-minute content to be able to just properly align you with the information correctly.
Right.
And we're just going to use that as content anyway. So it's going to work twofold. Yeah, now we here. This is it's been starting, but we're here now. Trust me when I tell you this, because every economy is on a shoestring right now, and it's just tangling. And we're just too smart. We have the products to move the bad money over into, and you already see it. It's sitting in gold right now.
Yeah.
And that price per ounce on the US side, that thing would get up to like 50, 60,000 an ounce. Easy. Because that's how much debt we have. And then figure just our repayments alone are already trillions monthly.
Mm-hmm. You know what I feel like they're gonna do to kind of address that situation? I'm not going to go into detail, so this is just the tale. But the simple fact that we have so much debt and we need something of value to be able to back it against with all these treasury bills and all this outstanding debt, once they tokenize everything, because they're telling you what's happening. Once they tokenize everything, how is it going to be transacted? Digitally. Who's the first bank to tokenize gold? HSBC. It's all this is when Steve said it's happening, I don't know if y'all paying attention, but I'm over here connecting dots as this is happening. Just because I got the data. I don't think they're gonna have tangible gold back out towards everybody. They're going to give it to the key players who need it. They're going to tokenize it. Then they're going to use something agnostic to efficiently transact this. And they're not going for CBDCs. It ain't going to be a CBDC. So if you in cryptocurrency, I hope you caught that gem I just gave.
And guys, go back and research phone bank with the FON.
Bank, yep.
Yeah, go look at that project. Phone company distributing SIM cards to Africa, about 8 million SIM cards. And it's running on a particular network that we gave, a blockchain that we gave you guys. So basically, at the end of the day, the SIM card is the new banks, right? There's no more the formal brick and mortar that we know of banks. That's dead. Think about it. When was the last time you walked in a bank to do anything? Right? Kids aren't opening bank accounts anymore. People just, the fintech companies kind of took that over. So every bank that's not going to fail by 2030 would have to have gold reserve, and then they're going to tokenize they're going to be forced to buy the treasury bills, the bonds, but they're going to be digitally distributed. So that's it. They're going to tokenize the debt. The banks are going to hold it. They're going to hold it against the gold that they're supposed to have. And we're back to balancing the budget again.
Yep.
But listen, the have and have nots, is the separation of it is going to be crazy. We're going to see trillionaires. You're going to see a whole lot more billionaires and a ton of millionaires. And then it's bottom half at that point now. So I'm just telling you, if you're an elite group between 6 to 11% of the world population invested in crypto, and they're not even invested in crypto properly. Right. So I'm just telling you that we're probably of a 1%, if I had to guess, out of the 6 that they're reporting that's out there right now that's invested in crypto.
100% fact. Glad you said that.
We're in a small group. Yeah, that's all I got for y'all. And Champ threw this on last minute because I had stuff for y'all, but I didn't have it to be doing a lot. So I do appreciate you putting this together, Champ.
Come on, bro. Love you, man. Love you to life, brother.
I love you too. Listen, drop some shit in the chat if this was informative. Honestly, I think this was the best call in a long time.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? Steve says this all the time. He does this on purpose, right? This guy's really, he plays chess with life. He says all the time, if I come on here with some shit that's like super prepared, to him, he can see it, right? He can see, he's like, I ain't really feeling it. When it's from the hip and I just go, loves it. He loves those calls. So I appreciate this feedback right here.
Yeah, nah, this was good.
Killed that.
Yeah, nah, the market is and I don't even like don't look at crypto, because I used to do this a lot. It like green and red is kind of how I view crypto. You know, so I've dropped that in the last several months, and I don't care if the market's up. I don't care about the total market cap of crypto. It takes up too much energy when you're hyper focused on, oh, damn, my portfolio's down. I don't even know what my entry points are anymore. I'll be honest with you. I've been buying for so long. There's no data. You can't get any information from Coinbase or KuCoin. Coinbase better. But KuCoin, those guys, you can only go backwards so far. And I stopped collecting my own data. You know, I used to write the stuff down. I got notebooks and shit. And I'm like, I can't with this, man. Just something's going to hit. Then I have a whole NFT collection, and I'd be forgetting about that stuff. So there's a whole management of this situation that people don't take into account right now. So when Elon Musk is working on that product, that's gonna and that those products are gonna revolutionize the world. You just figure like you can just wake up to a database and it gives me my real estate holdings, my stock holdings, my crypto holdings. Like everything should run like that.
Yep.
And this is where AI and a lot of the automation is, they're going to do a good job of that, because it doesn't matter if the exchanges don't speak to each other. I'm the identifier at the end of the day. So all my assets should be in one place. And then if something was to happen to me, then all of that stuff could easily be distributed and transferred to whoever is next in line and just get that. And this is where we're going with it.
Yeah. And I think you just gave the masses a multi-billion-dollar idea. We might have to be first to market with that. We might have to figure out something right there. Yeah, I think you just kind of let the you know.
No, they're already, Elon Musk that's his project that he's working on now. It makes total sense. Everybody's been asking for it.
It is
logging on to like multiple platforms. Just the other day, I found like $900 in Webull in crypto that I bought.
Wow.
Right, 900. It was crypto. I'm like, wait, why did I buy Webull? And I remember cashing out on stocks, and then they had crypto, and I said, you know what? It was like XLM, and I bought them. And then when I bought them, I didn't do research, and I couldn't pull them off because they don't have a wallet. So it sat for a minute. It was probably a $200 investment that turned to 900. So I just cashed out on it the other day.
Crazy.
Yeah. So that's the problem. Now I got a TD Bank. That stuff had money in it. Then I went through my cold storage the other day, and I found out that I had like Tether and USDC sitting on two cold storage wallets. I had no clue. So we have to do a better job of inventorying our product and looking at it, if not on a daily basis, at least every Sunday or one day a week when things are quiet. Get on, plug up your cold storage, make sure your stuff is updated. They've been doing a lot of updates. Is it SafePal? Somebody has just got rid of the Binance network.
I didn't hear that.
Decent wallet.
Decent?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I know there was huge delistings that was about to happen, so I know it was going to impact some wallets because of CZ from Binance. He get locked up, and I guess on the tail news of that, they had put out a bunch of delistings that were going to happen, but they just shot him out on the fly. They didn't come on the normal platforms. I literally just saw him before the call.
You know, he's they're frauding over there too, guys. Like they own 90% of that Binance coin.
Yeah. And it's up.
That shit's not worth 900. It's not worth that.
Yeah, that joint went up crazy today.
Owner goes to jail and it keeps going up for fraud. For fraud. Like if we got caught with fraud right now, how many memberships would we have canceled by the morning?
Crazy.
You can't make this up. Yeah, so guys, if you have the Decent Wallet or SafePal, plug it up. There's an error, there's a message that comes on, and they're not supporting that Binance chain anymore. And that's big. You gotta
Yeah,
ask yourself why.
yeah.
And listen, banks are going to be the new exchanges at the end of the day. Banks are going to be your exchanges at the end of the day. You're going to be limited. In Canada, you're limited to what assets you could even buy. Canada only allows you to buy like Litecoin, Bitcoin, ETH. I'm like, Litecoin?
Yeah, of all things.
Yeah.
Um,
Start looking at the XLM ecosystem. I'm not going to give too much, but I'm giving enough.
hello, hello. And if you in that spot code channel, there's two plays that I already gave you guys that's on. Well, let me shut up. Yeah, it's there. You're welcome. And
For my
Sharif,
student here that mentioned the Capricorn situation, that big energy we got. I
Big
appreciate
Steve,
that.
Big Steve, not the little one. Let's go.
Now,
Yo,
it's in the stars. This was all written.
I
I
didn't know
can't
this.
take credit for it.
Did you know Sharika was in Toronto? Toronto?
I didn't.
This is the first time me hearing this.
I'm
That's
trying to get out of here so quick. This
yo.
ain't the long game.
Listen, I feel for you guys up there in Canada. That economy, I mean, what's the cost of living like up there for you? I mean, you don't have to give me a personal story, just in general.
Toronto would be like the New York. It's that in Vancouver. Like it's ridiculously high. It's
It's the most
ridiculously high.
millionaires per capita in the world, per capita.
Like you have the American dream and then you have the Canadian dream of, oh, it's so multicultural. It's only multicultural in Toronto or the greater Toronto area. So a
Wow.
lot of people come in and they sell the multiculturalism, but hey, it's so many people I ask, when they're a year and 5 in, like, how do you like it here? And they're like, man, I wish I went back home. Like, this isn't it. They thought it was something else that it's not. So
Wow.
So where are you leaving? And where are you going? Yeah, free healthcare.
yeah, when they're putting, you know what they're doing to the food. So
Right.
you know what they're doing to the food. It's at the end of the day, the allopathic doctors are my take, and I think you said this as well, Steve. When they know exactly what the problem is,
Mhm.
compound fracture, great. But when they don't know, it's just ping pong to doctor, and it wears you down, and it's a fear game. Like the vax thing is ridiculous over here.
Yeah.
My mom, her regular doctor's like, you're gonna die if you don't take this.
Wow.
Like, that's what. So you
You
guys say
got
you can't cure nothing, but you're saying people are gonna die, and luck, she stuck to her heart and she didn't. But yeah, a lot of people are randomly dropping, So
Oh, mom.
sorry about
thankful
that.
for the academy. And you know what? All of these G7 countries have sold all of us a lie. And it's really about expanding and seeing these opportunities. And when we travel and we go to these countries where our money goes so much farther, like I know for me, that's what I'm working on of like, I know I can live elsewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. We have a segment on expat life. So part one was Shelly from Thailand. Friday, I'm actually shooting, and if you guys want to get on, I can send an invite out. I have to look at the time, but I'll post it. Friday, I'm shooting a young lady she's moving to the UK. She owns a real estate brokerage out here. I believe she's in the Georgia area. So I'm compiling stuff. I have Kenya, I have Nigeria, we did Thailand. I have someone coming from man, there's so much of them. I had a post. It was actually my first viral post regarding the passport. So I'm making connections with people from all over the world. And it just baffles me, man. When you get those vacations, the first thing you want to do is leave this country.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? You want to explore this world, but it's like we could never fathom like actually leaving the country. And it's becoming more and more of a reality for me. I'm looking into Panama has a lot of good opportunity coming up right now. Thailand just got their Bitcoin ETF approved. Mexico is about to join BRICS.
Yeah. What happened? Because
What
Augustus.
happened? They got a Jewish president. That's what happened. That's it. That stuff, everybody died. They
Yeah,
killed everybody.
that's wild.
Yo, they're not even trying to like
Hide it.
mask anything right now.
Yeah.
You know, they killed everybody of Mexican, like real Mexican descent.
Yeah.
No, that's not happening, bro. Not on that term. She's there for 6 years.
That's crazy. It's more members that just joined. I mean, that just submitted applications to join BRICS. And I was wondering what was going on. I haven't dived in, so I don't know who's the particulars over like the last month or so. And that's wild you say that. Because they were on the brink. They were right there. They submitted the application and everything. Whoa.
No, they're done. Same thing with the Haitian president. He was on the brink too. And where's he at?
Wow.
Yeah, that's what they're doing now. They're going to put their own governments in place in foreign countries who don't have to be foreign nationals to win elections. Insane.
You're damn
I
insane.
mean, we have Zionist presidents. They own 90% of Washington.
For sure.
Listen, be smart, guys. There's a ton of vaccines coming out. Bird flu, deadly spiders coming out of New York. I'm hearing all types of stuff happening. But just be mindful of your health. Everything we need, our body can handle. Right? You just have to kind of reverse some of the shit. For me, I would just cut alcohol. If anybody's at all worried about what could be happening or what they're concocting, and you're still drinking and smoking cigarettes, good luck.
Yeah, you could.
Good luck. That's just it. It's just everything. People with pre-existing conditions are always going to be at the tail end of stuff, and at this point, it's just the strong survive, and that it's just plain and simple. We make choices every single day with all this information out here on what they're doing with the food, and we're still chomping away at this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm reading the ingredients. I'm like, God, wow. Oh, and the weaponizing of the water. Right now, you're hearing all this stuff with the water and
All that
bullshit.
stuff.
We gave you, if you took the health and wellness, that site with the and we'll drop it in health again. If those of you are new, it's a website that you can go to and you just put in your zip code and it's going to give you the quality of your water. And I'm telling you, every single chemical that is in the water that we have in our house is cancer causing. So they've been weaponizing the water against us because there's no reason why those chemicals should be in that water.
Yeah. That's real.
So, whole house water system, yeah, but you still got to kind of bathe on it. Your skin is a sponge at the end of the day. There's really no avoiding a lot that's out there. We just need to be able to, I'm telling you, stick close to that health and wellness situation. There's ways that you can pull a lot of these heavy metals out of your body. We gave you tests that you pay shipping and handling to get the data to know how much. I asked my primary care to give me a metal test, and he was like, "For what? Like, what are you going to do with it?" So I just bought it online. I got my tests and I got my results, and I make my adjustments from there. But you have to know what's happening in your body, and there's a ton of companies that are offering private services now. And even speaking, if you watch the young lady in Thailand, she's like, $300, they'll do a whole scan. They have this full body scan for $300 cash. And it gives you everything that's going on in your body. It'll diagnose cancer in the scan at all stages. So this is the access that people have in other countries that we don't have here in America.
Yeah.
Because there's no money in preventative care. Right? If I told you just sit out in the sun 15 minutes early in that morning, and it could probably take care of most things, most people won't even believe that. So yeah, stay inside, shut the shades. Right? Fauci, all week, Fauci, all week. All week. That's how I knew something big was being cooked in the background. I'm like, nah, they working on something right now. And then you see all those bills. Everything is passing.
Yep.
But that guy's a dweeb. And if he ever comes back on TV again and y'all fall for it again, then you're just asking for it at that point.
Yeah. That's your fault.
He's been through two of these things. There's no way this guy's going to usher us into something else.
Making up everything along the way as he goes.
12. Can you imagine it was 12 feet?
Bro,
Canada, you guys still boosting up there? Is it still a requirement for boosting?
No, it's not a requirement, but they definitely are encouraging volunteers to jab up. So I still see people wearing masks left and right. It's heavily encouraged. I'll say that.
it's wild.
So is there a good part of the population that didn't get vaccinated? And how would you move if were there option for you to be able to bypass exemptions?
There were exemptions. There's a good chunk, I'll say majority of the population was, and then there was also sort of a revolt movement, though it wasn't really mainstream. It wasn't a big part of it, but a lot of people are catching the after effects. And from what I've gathered with this next round, I hear a lot more random people saying like, why am I getting a third one? Why am I getting a fourth one? So there's a little bit more critical thinking coming in, but at the same time, damage has been done en masse, especially small businesses.
Yeah. When's your election?
Oh, I don't know. I don't even pay attention to that garbage. I couldn't
I'm
tell
just
you.
wondering if this guy has another chance. I mean, he's like a 50-50 guy in that country. People love him and like hate him.
I can't really say. I give no energy to the political
Yeah.
drama and theater up here.
Yeah. I like to vote. They give those stickers out in America. Well, I appreciate you tapping in with us from Canada.
Absolutely.
Beautiful city up there.
Yeah, it is. But hey, that's not enough, right? We
Is that where you've been your whole life?
I live just in the suburbs, just out of there. But yeah, that's predominantly where I've been at. So it's like, you got the Caribbean hub here.
Okay.
Yeah. I have a friend who's not too far from Niagara Falls up that way. But you have a large Asian, Indian population.
Yeah, it's heavy. There's different pockets of it, but it's definitely a mix. A lot of different cultures here, definitely.
Where are these guys getting all this money? What's the industry that's driving these millionaires?
Real estate. It's fluffed up, but real estate and then the banking as well, financial sector.
You still on that Queen bar? You still leasing that Queen's land? Or the king? She died, right? She died a long time ago. She died a long time ago. Yeah, Canada is definitely not on my list of places that I ever care to live.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's all I got for y'all today. So please get those links. Chip, I don't know if we want to just kind of regurgitate those links on the post for the replay.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we don't drop the chat most times.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the 2 bills. And I can send them to you directly if you want.
I got it.
You got them?
Yeah. Appreciate you though.
Good shit though.
Yeah, nah. You know what? I told him, man, I was just feeling it. I was like, you know what, man? Let's touch the people, man. Let's ride, man. Yeah, nah, but this is great, man. Appreciate you joining us and giving him that work as always.
Oh, real estate month. I got something I'm dropping for you guys next week. I got a little tool for you guys how to analyze properties quick. Little calculator I have. Good little tool for you guys. Yeah, so I'd say another couple of weeks I'll be ready to start going all in with you guys. I have a couple projects. I put some bids on. So once I get those, I'm gonna be able to. Jerry, thank you for that information. And I'll be seeing you this month too. I'm gonna be in Chicago. Bro, you cut the lights on me. All right, Champ. Good work. Nah, this was a lot of information.
Yeah, it was. I didn't think it was gonna be like I told you. I wasn't prepared to be on it for long, but this was good.
Nah, yeah, chop this up. Let's Opus clip this one. There's some good spots in there.
All right, ladies and gents, that was episode 54 of Connect Wednesdays. Hope you guys enjoyed it. The links are going to be provided inside the description in the video. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.